Hello, everyone, and welcome to Gary D and the Fabulous Armadillos. For those of you who don't know me, I am Gary D, and some of you might know me as Greg. But for the last 40 years or so, I have been Greg Armstrong in my life other than on stage. But tonight, we're celebrating the release of my alter ego, the stage-performing, piano-playing, world-touring Gary D and the Fabulous Armadillos. So for the rest of the interview, we're going to be talking about Gary D, or me, or you get the idea. I've surrounded myself tonight with some incredible musicians, and they're also good friends and recording artists in their own right. And they've given their abilities and willingness to be a part of this album project and CD party tonight, and that really humbles me, and I want to thank them as much as I can. You folks can help by screaming real loud for them, and they deserve every little bit of it. And I've affectionately called these folks the Fabulous Armadillos. You'll hear from Pamela McNeil, Brian Layton, Jeff Brewer, Nathan Anderson, Jason Perry, Justin Plouffe, Sue Mustaine, and an incredible band of players including Paul Stretch Diethelm, Jay O'Donnell, Mike Zeleny, Matt Kirkwald, Jay Graff, and George Maurer. And I can't thank them all enough. Now a little bit about Gary D. Me. Since 1984, I've been earning a living playing or writing music full-time, and a very small percentage of people get to say that their hobby is their love and profession, and thankfully I can.
Against my will, you know I'm standing.
At about age 17, I started playing keyboards in a band called Blackout. Now, Blackout was a heavy rock band. We played Ozzy Osbourne, Ronnie James Dio, Motley Crue, all the heavy stuff of the day. And my parents came to one particular show at a high school auditorium with my 80-something-year-old aunt. And after the show, they told me it was a great show and tapped me on the back and just how much they loved it. And really, I knew they didn't really like it that much, but it was the thought that counts. And but it was that feeling, the camaraderie, the brotherhood of the band, and the feeling of the family you get from that, and the audience reaction that really kept me doing this for the next 20 years or so. I went from Blackout to a local St. Cloud band you might remember called Heartbeat. And we had the big hair, and we played Bon Jovi and Def Leppard and whatever was popular at the time. And I played with Heartbeat for 7 years and met a lifelong friend in that band. He was the best man in my wedding and still a good friend and is mixing the show tonight. Thanks, Tom.
I've got a feeling you're drifting away.
Then I got a call from Bobby Vee to join his band. And for those of you who don't know Bobby Vee, he was a 60s teen idol with over 36 gold records. He sold millions of albums in the 60s and 70s. And in his band, I got to play in nearly every state in the U.S., Canada, Mexico, Britain, Malaysia, Australia. I put on all kinds of miles and played hundreds of shows. And I spent many a night away from home. But it was during this time that I played in a rockabilly band called the Vees, which was made up of Bobby's three sons and me. We recorded 2 great albums, and I found out I could look, sing, and sometimes act like Jerry Lee Lewis. And in Bobby's band, I got to meet folks like Sir Paul McCartney, Sir Andrew Lloyd Webber, Carl Perkins, the Everly Brothers, and the list goes on and on. And it was an incredible time in my life. In the late 90s, I joined a Minneapolis band called GB Layton, and this band played over 200 plus states a year. This band was really family to me, as I saw these guys more than I saw my own family, and made some lifelong friends there as well. We played quite a few different states, traveled overseas, recorded albums together, and played some really great shows, and I still do on occasion. You know, I've got played some great bands, played with some great musicians, and made some great friends in this business. And, you know, I got to hang with some pretty famous faces, too. The rock star life. Hey, I think you've had enough wine there, sir. But I also had another life. Now, in 1992, I started writing jingles, and they've been played in nearly every state as well. In fact, my little 30-second song has been played more than any other artist in St. Cloud, and I help sell millions of dollars worth of products. And I'm sure you're familiar with some of them, like Coburn's and Westside Liquor, Mies John Deere, Beeline Marine, Miller Indoor Auto Plaza, Miller Marine, 1040 Ford, Gilliland Chevrolet. And throughout the course of the show, you're going to be introduced to some of these jingle singers, and we're going to play some of those jingle hits for you.
You're the song I need to sing. Your love is everything.
In the late late 90s at a V show, I met my wife Sandy, and in 2005 we adopted a beautiful baby girl named Eiley May. And now after adopting Eiley, I felt I needed to be home more and not play rock star every night of the week, but I have managed to still keep my feet wet playing. I am home more now and love the time I get to spend with Sandy and Eiley. And folks, the more albums I sell tonight, the more I get to stay home with them. And I want to thank my wife dearly for putting up with the Music Man husband. And like the song says, it ain't always what it's supposed to be. As I mentioned, for the last 20 years or so, I've been playing someone else's music or been a sideman to an artist. But my album, Diary of a Decade, has been my chance to shine a little bit and be more than just a sideman. Throughout the course of the show, you'll be introduced to the Armadillos and hopefully gain a little insight into them and into me and hear some great stories behind the music. Now, the show will consist of some songs I've written or co-written, and also feature some covers from the Armadillos, and songs that are written to the fabric of all our histories, including Bruce Springsteen, Billy Joel, Mark Cohn, Wings, and some unexpected songs that you're going to hear performed for the first time live, just for you. I want to thank Pioneer Place on 5th, this beautiful theater, and the Barth Brothers, the Fabulous Armadillos, and all of you for coming here tonight and making this show happen. And now just sit back and relax and enjoy Gary D and the Fabulous Armadillos.